A man named Sir Winston Churchill once said, "Fear is a reaction, courage is a decision." Courage can be displayed in many ways and forms for many characters and people, but you have to choose to display it. Ender displays courage very well throughout the course of the book. He goes through many tough times throughout the book and reacts the right way, which is very courageous to do. For example, Ender gets into fights that he may not win, but he chooses to have the courage to fight. So, in Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card, Ender is the most courageous character because of his abilities and the way he presents them to others. There are many reasons Ender is the most courageous character. One of the main reasons is Ender is very cunning and he is not afraid to go up against anybody. The dictionary definition of courage is the ability to do something that frightens one. Ender's cunningness allows him to do things that frighten others all the time. For example, Ender left his family to go to battle school with a random stranger out of the blue. Ender, Graf said, "If you come with me, you won't be back here for a long time. There aren't any vacations from battle school. No visitors either. A full course of training lasts until you're 16 years old. You get your first leave under certain circumstances when you're 12. You see, I'm not pretending it's easy." Card 21. Graf explains to Ender the struggles of going to battle school. These struggles don't bother Ender. He takes risks to fight for his planet anyway. He left his planet and family, and for all he knows, he may never see them again. For example, he could die in battle, and that would be the last time seeing Valentine and his family. In conclusion, one of the reasons Ender is the most courageous character is because of his cunningness. The second reason Ender is the most courageous character in Ender's Game is because of his inclined athletic and academic ability and the fact that he risks those gifts. Ender's vocabulary and ability to fight against the buggers are just a couple of the abilities that make him inclined in both ways. Those gifts are rare and he risks them, which is very courageous. For example, in his fights with Bonzo and Stilson, he could have been very easily injured, paralyzed, or even killed. Ender did not look at Bernard. It was Bonzo who hungered for his death, even though he was silent. Card 208. Bonzo wanted Ender dead, but that didn't faze Ender. It made him want it more. He risked everything and beat both Bonzo and Stilson. So, one of the reasons Ender is the most courageous character is because of the risks he takes. The last reason Ender is the most courageous character is because of his commitment. In Ender's Game, Ender stays very committed to his job as Toon Leader. Toon Leader is a very hard job and he goes through many tough times. But throughout those times, he stays committed to his job. For example, even if Ender gets defeated, he knows to stay committed to his job and not lose hope. "I will remember this," thought Ender, "when I am defeated, to keep dignity and give honor where it's due, so that defeat is not disgrace." Card 180. Adding on, since Ender knows it's not the end, he keeps his teammates in line and stays committed even though he may be defeated, which is very courageous. He knows he may be defeated, but he still fights, which goes back to both of the previous reasons and proves he is committed and courageous. Therefore, Ender's committed actions make him the most courageous character in the story. Arguments can be made that Mazzer Rackham is the most courageous character in Ender's Game. This is incorrect. The main reason this is incorrect is because Mazzer did not end the war and Ender did. Mazzer only made the buggers stop fighting for a short period of time. Then it was up to Ender to finish the war, and he did exactly that. Mazzer only attacked a single ship, which he didn't even know would stop the war. Ender, on the other hand, risks his gifts to fight and succeeded. In conclusion, Mazzer Rackham makes a close fight, but Ender beats him out for the title of the most courageous character in Ender's Game. Ender's cunningness, risk-taking, and commitment prove him to be the most courageous character. Mazzer is not the most courageous character simply because he did not end the war. So, in Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card, Ender is the most courageous character, even though Mazzer Rackham is close.